everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk Ghosts. If you hear that whooshing sound in the background, that's our air conditioner. It is like 30,000 degrees outside. I will try to edit it out if it's a problem, but I don't want to turn it off. Neither does Bruce. So today, we found something new on YouTube called Ghost Club Paranormal. And it was actually probably one of their newer episodes where they say it's a scary night in UK's most haunted castle. And again, we'll put a link to it. First thing first, there's no credits, so I don't know who this woman was.
Yeah.
The one that was leading us around. We did get introduced to two fellows with her, Sam and Rory from Project Entity. Anyway, they are investigating Whittington Castle, which is in Owa Street, UK, which is sort of the boundary sort of between Wales and England. It's on the English side, she said. So, Sam and Rory, Project Entity, and we're going to have to go look them up later.
Yes.
I'd like to see some more. Anyway, it starts out with a very brief history of this castle, which, and when I say brief, I mean brief. And there was no tour ahead of time, so we were going in cold. Apparently, the two gentlemen had the walkthrough earlier in the day.
Yeah.
I got the feeling as we watched this thing that they had only like maybe an hour inside. They maybe booked for an hour. This is a sort of a partial castle. Looks like the two pieces have been restored and the rest of it hasn't yet. And it's very obviously for tourism.
Yeah.
Which is nothing wrong with that.
No.
Because it is probably, they think, maybe from the 11th century. So they've got a lot of artifacts and things inside. I don't know if it was intended to be a haunted castle in the beginning. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they jumped on the whole paranormal bandwagon to make a few bucks for the castle, just like everybody else seems to do. But what we did see was fairly well restored so far.
Right.
The woodwork, there was no real woodwork. Floors, which were creaky and everything, but that's kind of the way they were.
Yeah.
The stonework, to see the stonework surviving for, 1,000 years, that just blows me away. Yeah. So, they did have some good tagging in there where she would mark things that they might have heard, this was somebody walking closer and whatever. I'm almost thinking that's where the goodness ended. It wasn't bad, okay? I'm not going to say this was bad. I mean, it was interesting. The editing was pretty good. The transitions were fairly smooth. They were a bit shaky in spots. But really, it wasn't a bad investigation.
Right.
There's a few... I have a big niggle, and it's not just from this group. I have the same thing from a few other groups that we've seen. And it's when they bring in their equipment, cat balls. That's got to be a thing these days, bringing in the cat balls and REM pods and things. But you have to remember, some of these spirits and entities, they don't know what a cat ball is. They don't know what a freaking antenna is. Don't say go touch the antenna. What the hell is that? Go touch that rod sticking up.
Yeah.
Here, play with the little ball. It's going to light up.
Yeah.
I just... Ooh! Think of the period of the entities you're trying to communicate with. Please, don't assume that they know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or, this thing, the REM pod, it's gonna make a noise, don't be scared. It's alright, it's not gonna hurt you. And I think she said something like that at one point.
Yeah, well, they all do.
No, they don't always.
Well.
But this time, this one that really got me was that, go touch the antenna. What the ever-loving hell is an antenna? Anyway, and the cat balls. Everybody's got cat balls, and everybody's calling them cat balls. Well that ghost might not know, I know that, but that ghost might not know what a cat ball is. Just say it's a little ball. and it's going to light up if you play with it. And here's the other thing that I don't like. When whoever made the ball light up, or whoever made it light up, just whoever touched it. Whoever made the ball light up, not just whoever made it light up. Just remember the people you're talking to.
Yes.
That's my biggest niggle. I have a couple more, but that's the biggest one.
I got, from myself, it's when they say get out.
That was it.
You respect, you ask why, and if they're going to answer you, they'll answer you, but they're telling you to get out for a reason.
They heard it twice on their spirit box session. And they
never...
Oops, sorry. Good.
Sit still!
I was getting excited.
But you listen. You don't just ignore it.
They didn't even acknowledge.
Yes.
Twice. She wrote it down in the captions after. So, did she not hear it at the time? I guess we don't know that.
You don't know that,
but still, it said, get out.
She heard everything else.
Yeah.
And she heard things that I didn't hear.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, if truly she didn't hear it, why write it down just so that people like us can say, they're telling you to get out and you're not getting out?
Yeah.
I just think that's rude. Yeah. Maybe this space is the only space that this entity has, that it's its own space. It's asking you to leave. And honestly, when an entity is that particular about telling you to get out more than once, I'm not one to tempt fate and see what it might do if I don't get out. Yeah. Get out. Okay, I'm out of here. Yeah, that was one of the things I didn't like. They had another one of those boxes that talk to you.
Spirit box?
No, this one's called the Spirit Talker, the one that spits out the words like ours, like our obelisk.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is another new one. I mean, there's so many of them out there. I'm just making note of them as they show up. So this one was the Spirit Talker. And again, has all kinds of, not just words like the obelisk, but has all these phrases. And so I don't know which of those are actually real versus, what's just in there and how much the spirit is actually trying to communicate those things.
Yeah.
One of the things that they said that came through was they got a name, Robinson. And as they're talking, they're thinking about maybe it's a little boy, maybe a young boy, whatever. And I got to wondering if maybe it wasn't Robin's son, maybe it's Robin's son. That's kind of interesting. Just a different take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. These people kind of did the same experiment that everybody seems to be doing these days. I really wish there'd be something new. But they're calling it, I've never heard it called the Delco experiment before. I mean, I've just heard it called so many different things. But she put on these goggles that flashed. And honestly, if you have a seizure disorder, that could be bad. So she's got these headphones on. I think she was wearing headphones. You really couldn't see her, but I think so.
But,
I don't think we got very much when she did it. But I think her name was Jade.
Yes.
I think that's what they said at the beginning.
Yeah.
Her name is Jade, blah, blah, I don't know what else. That's the only way we might know who she is.
Yeah.
But one of the guys, Rory, they switched places, and he got a lot more. What did you think of his?
Everybody's gets different things.
Mm-hmm. True.
And that's how you communicate it,
Yeah. It sounded like for him, he was speaking to a former prisoner.
Yeah.
Who, at first I thought it was like the lawyer.
Yeah.
The something advisor.
They still don't call them lawyers.
I know, they call them solicitors and barristers and stuff. But he called them something or other advisor. I forget what it was, something advisor. And at I thought maybe that was the equivalent to a lawyer, but then he was talking more, and it almost, well, their interpretation was it probably was a prisoner who escaped, was dragged back, maybe tortured and killed, which is possible. Well, then again, maybe not. Maybe it was the lawyer who, defended these people or prosecuted them or whatever they did, because this castle had a court and the jail was below it. But that's not uncommon back in those days. No. So that was kind of interesting. She also put up on the screen. She put up on the screen. No other responses came through. Honestly, if you're going to type something like that, please spell properly. Check your dictionary. Responses was not spelled correctly. And people like me that says, I get really irritated if you're going to post something on a video that you want to use for subscribers or to make money or whatever, make it professional. Which means spelling it properly. And yes, I had the same comment with something Zach Bagans put up once. And he's the professional dude, for lack of a better term. But he's in that realm of, superstardom and blah. Still can't spell. Okay. You had a comment when they were doing spirit talker stuff, spirit box things, about not giving it much.
Yeah, you gotta give the ghosts or the entities time to answer. You can't expect them to answer right now. Right. It just doesn't happen.
You see on television how they go quickly, but that's because it's edited.
Yes.
Edited for time. But, and maybe that's the case here too. I doubt it. I think most people that have watched this stuff on TV and think they know what they're doing and they go to do their own, they're not giving these entities time. It takes time for them to build the energy up to respond. Yeah. It's not just sitting there going, oh my God, somebody's going to talk to me. Yeah! No, it doesn't work that way.
And when they say they're lonely, slow down.
Talk to them.
Talk to them.
That was sad. It's very lonely here.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. And,
let's move on. One of the guys said, well, talk to us while we're here.
Yeah.
But then they didn't linger on that.
No.
Of course, it's her camera, her YouTube video that she's filming. They're just kind of there. One of the things I wasn't fond of for her, she was in that sort of area where they had the old armor behind the fence thing, the locked fence, and she hears a voice, a woman's voice or something. We couldn't hear it. Apparently it was louder than loud, but we couldn't hear it. And the first thing she says is, fuck off! Really? If you had a girl come and close to you who's talking, you just scared her away.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more professional. I mean, I get that people get excited and language comes out. I understand that. What? Did you reference what I think you just referenced?
Yes, did.
He referenced Joy Fielding from Most Haunted.
But
I hate Most Haunted.
But that's the way it is. You can't scream at the ghost and expect them to interact with you.
Yeah, because now you may well have scared this ghost away.
Or pissed it off.
Or that's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
You really don't want to piss it off because it could be bad. Yeah. Like she thought something grabbed her leg or something.
Yeah, where she had a tattoo.
Hidden behind a pair of pants. Like, I don't know how this ghost would know she had a tattoo. Really? Is it looking under your clothes, honey? No. Just because tattoos and then the next word was illegal. That one I think was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't see it. So it was interesting in that the location, although there wasn't much to see, they took us into this one library and into this room that they called was a dungeon. But that's really all there was to see.
Upstairs, they never went back up.
No, they put the REM pod up there and that was it. At one point we heard stairs creaking. I would have liked to have seen more because it did sound like maybe there was something up there, but there wasn't much. Yeah. And I'm very disappointed in that. Would I watch something from this lady again?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Like I said, it wasn't all bad, but it wasn't all good either. I mean, it had some good points.
Which one?
I don't know.
Tell me one.
The editing was pretty okay.
No.
It wasn't bad. The editing wasn't bad. I just wasn't fond of it. It wasn't my favorite. If it came, say, the only thing ever to watch on television or on YouTube was on, I might.
Turn it off.
I don't know. I might cut her some slack and watch another episode, but I'm not going to go looking for it. It was okay. It was okay. That's the way I can see it. I just wasn't impressed with this style of investigating it. It was okay. And for someone who has, 42,000 subscribers now, she seemed very proud of that toward the end. I just, good for you, honey. Good for you. Yeah. So we're going to go see if we can't find Ghost Project Entity. And that might be interesting just to see if they do things a little differently.
Yeah.
But they're obviously friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's always nice to collaborate. But yeah, that's our take on Ghost Club Paranormal.
Yeah.
And we'll see you around for the next one. Have a good afternoon.
Happy hunting.
Happy haunting. Bye now.